We're back live. Did you miss me, folks? I got to tell you, it's lunchtime. You know how I know? I can start to smell the wafts of food, and I'm sitting here, and it's a curse and a blessing because part of me is hungry and I want to have lunch too. But part of me has the chance to talk to really smart people over and over again, and that's a lot of fun. So really, if you're listening and watching this, drop by the bottom level, bring me as much food as you want and drinking water. I'll be okay with that. Next up on our docket here, we're joined by Michael Finneran, and Michael is with dBrn Associates. Michael, did I get your name right?
Yes, you did. I'm sorry you've run out of smart people, so maybe it would have been better going to lunch.
We'll settle for you.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, to go for lunch. I like that idea. In fact, if you're watching this on your app, you can be multitasking, having your food, watching the summit, and the live stream, and talking to people around you. That's pretty cool. Now, we often get people saying to us, Daryl, when you have the guests on, it would really help us understand a little bit more about who they are and where they're at. Often they want to go check out your website at the same time. So for those people, tell them a little bit about Michael Finneran and dBrn Associates.
Well, dBrn Associates is a full-service advisory firm specializing in wireless. So I divide my time helping carriers, equipment vendors come up with marketing plans, strategies, evaluating what they're doing, competitive analysis. And for end users, it's across the board, putting Wi-Fi networks together, helping them negotiate cellular contracts, helping them understand how the wireless technology can affect their businesses.
All right, now if I want to check out more about you, because often our clients like to multitask and go to your website, I'm assuming you have a website?
dbrnassociates.com.
Fantastic. So run a web search. You'll see that if you don't want to spell it out, but it's really hard. dBrn, just like that.
Decibels above reference
noise.
That's
right. There's no vowels in that. So, all right, let's get right into it. It's my understanding that you lead the mobility track here at Enterprise Connect.
Yes, I have for several years.
So, and how curiosity, how many years have you been doing it? Do you remember?
Oh.
Or has it been so long you've lost track?
At least 10.
Wow, that's a long time. In those 10 years, I'm assuming you've seen just a bit of change.
Oh, well, on both sides. I mean, the two main sides are the cellular networks and the Wi-Fi networks.
Right.
And both have been advancing at a breakneck pace, though I cannot think of a time in the past where we've had as many new hot topics on the table as we have today.
All right, so that's a good segue. Based on that, what are the hot topics in mobility this year?
Well, in terms of the cellular network, it's going to be the pending migration to 5G.
Okay.
4G is what we're on now. And 5G is geared really toward, always better, faster, and cheaper, more bits, but also geared toward different applications. And the biggest is Internet of Things.
I've never heard of this Internet of Things.
It's the idea,
I'm being facetious. It's one of the hottest topics here, right?
Okay.
It's okay, I'm good, it's good.
I can forgo the long definition.
That's good,
then.
that's right.
But Gartner's predicting somewhere in the order of 20 to 30 billion devices, IoT devices, online by 2020.
Right.
And the thing that's really driving, I find, more than anything else, is not so much the technology. I never worry about the technology.
Yeah.
We have so many smart people working on technology.
Yeah.
They'll come up with a solution.
Yep.
What's really driving this is the ideas.
I thought you might have said security or something. That was interesting. So
we'll fix that. With IoT, we do have a few problems in the near term. We'll address those as well.
Okay.
The technical things are not really, I don't really
look at. We can solve technical things.
Absolutely.
That's right, okay.
The real driver here is going to be creative imagination. The same sort of imagination was turned loose 10 years ago with mobile apps.
Yeah.
That crew is now changing their focus.
Yeah.
now it's going to be IoT. And probably one of the other topics that has come up in your interviews so far is artificial intelligence.
We just had a long conversation about it, our last conversation.
Yes, the amount of data we'll be able to collect through this, think of having billions of sensors out there, much like we do today on Waze.
Yeah.
Waze can tell you there's traffic congestion because they can see other Waze users in front of you on the same highway,
That's
and they're
right.
going slower.
That's right.
And can figure out other ways to get you where you're going more quickly.
Right.
All instantaneously, all done in the cloud.
Yeah.
That's just one small example of thousands and thousands of different things we'll be able to do. And it's all being driven by just creative lunatics, folks that can dream it up, and then now today have the tools to be able to build that.
What I think is interesting is you said the ideas and the creativity because, we have, shall we say, a built-in bias to do things the way we've always done things. Mm-hmm. And when I hear you say that, it's like when I've got all this new innovation at my disposal, how can I do something better that I've never thought of before to use that, and so I can totally get what you're getting at.
Yeah, I forget who originated this phrase. It was one of my favorites in the field. The hallmark of an important new idea is it solves a problem you didn't know you had.
Well, okay, so I'll use an example of that, right? So my wife is like the least technological person going. So when I introduced, Amazon Echo Alexa into the household, she was like, "Why do I need this?" And she was somewhat reluctant. Let's just go with that, okay? I think a day went by, maybe two, and all of a sudden it was like, "No, you're not taking her away." She never knew she had that problem, but once she got exposed to its capabilities, she loved it.
Yeah, well, I do not denigrate women in this in the least. My wife actually was virtually a technophobe. I still don't think she knows how to print a document off my PC.
I understand
but
that.
When she got her hands on her first smartphone, on her BlackBerry, she mastered that thing. Within 2 weeks, she was like the help desk for all her friends who also had BlackBerries.
I love
and of course
that.
now she's moved on to the iPhone.
Of course.
Yeah.
So let's segue there. You mentioned the iPhone. I know you're leading a session focused on Apple in the enterprise.
Yes.
All right. Which are, historically, if you go back in time, Apple and enterprise maybe didn't always two words that go together. So the question we're going to ask you now is, are Apple devices being incorporated into enterprise systems more effectively than in the past?
Oh, absolutely. Well, it wasn't the enterprise had a problem with Apple. It's IT had a problem with Apple.
Yes, there's an element of that.
Yeah.
Sure.
Well,
I'm being understated
largest
again.
element.
Yes.
Well, actually, it depends which part of Apple we're talking about. When we look at the smartphone market today, worldwide, the market share between Android and Apple is about 86-14 in favor of Android.
That's right.
In the enterprise, it's 2-1 in favor of Apple.
Yep.
It is that powerful a force.
And now that split, I'm curious, is that as you're looking at, whether it's phone or tablet or, computer?
That's where the split comes. There I'm talking about iOS, which is phone and tablet.
Okay.
When we come to the Macs, not doing so well.
Really?
Apple seems to have taken the eye off of that ball. We're waiting to see if anything's going to happen. I mean, they don't have a touch screen. Also, the Mac, OS X, the operating system, has more or less been abandoned by the industry.
Yeah.
I mean, fortunately, Microsoft has come out with the new version of Office, 2016,
Yep.
Where now Outlook works at least half as well as it does on a Windows machine.
And that's a true statement.
Oh, absolutely. I've been using Outlook on Mac for years.
Yeah.
It's actually starting to perform correctly, but across the board, IT in the enterprise IT industry has just been lazy about supporting Mac devices. This stuff can be made to work. It's just they're lazy.
Yeah.
They don't want to do it. Best example, my local cable company has apps so you can watch their
That's
TV
right, their
programming.
TV, yep.
Their iOS app is perfect.
Yep.
Great. Using an iPad, using an iPhone, terrific.
No problem.
Their Mac app, I loaded it. I couldn't get it to work.
Right.
It's on my laptop. It keeps telling me I can't use an external monitor. It's my laptop. It's
Right.
not an external monitor.
Exactly.
After 2 hours of frustration, I finally did the obvious thing, which was call the help desk.
Yes.
Got the guy on the phone and said, "Hey, I got your Mac app on here. It's telling me all sorts of crazy stuff." He said, "Oh, that doesn't work."
Yeah.
That was his answer.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice and simple.
Would you
Done.
expect this to work?
Exactly.
Yeah. So that side of the Mac has been, or the Mac side of the experience has been probably not so much itself. Now, of course, if you're a small business like me and can run everything with Apple, it's terrific. I can when I get messages on my iPhone, either SMSs or Apple messages.
Yeah.
Pop on my desktop, pop my
That's
my
the beauty of it.
laptop.
That's right.
I can make and receive phone calls. I can start a task on my desktop and pick. It doesn't work with all applications. It's called continuity.
Yep.
Pick it up on my iPhone. Or
That's
my,
right.
Like compose half of my email here, and then finish it on my
Exactly.
other device.
Yeah.
All of these things that absolutely do not exist in the Windows environment, Apple's been building in for years.
Yeah.
So if you stay all Apple, it's one life experience. But once you start mixing the two or asking IT's help, though in some cases that's changing. One of the other guys who's on that panel with Brent Kelly and I this afternoon is Joe Goodwin from Deloitte.
Okay.
He's one of the lead guys in charge of tech support for Apple devices inside of Deloitte. So companies that take it to heart.
Is he a lonely man or
Oh no, they love their Apple devices.
Gotcha.
Absolutely, and He's actually opened my eyes to a lot of the enterprise support tools that Apple provides, some of which I know, like the volume purchasing program and things like that, but there's a bunch of stuff. And he's been telling me, he's been talking it up with some of the attendees here at the show, other folks who are responsible for supporting Apple, and they had no idea these programs existed either.
How much of that is a byproduct of, shall we say, the legacy enterprise support tools, which were Windows-centric?
Yep. Well, it isn't even so much as far as the support tools. It's just they didn't like it. It was
right. It wasn't.
Apple was foreign.
That's right. I understand.
And actually, it was. Sometimes I think enterprise IT is masochistic. They like to suffer. Unfortunately, I have the silly idea that their users also like to suffer, and that's not really the case.
Right.
Which is why when the iPhone showed up, it was immediately so popular.
Yeah.
Out of the box, people said it was the same experience I
just
had
works.
when I saw my first Mac demo in January of 1985. That was right after the Super Bowl ad. The salesman was busy, didn't have any time to spend with me. I just played with it for about 5 minutes and said, I want that one.
Yeah.
It was that quick.
It was intuitive and you understood it.
I still have never read a Mac manual.
Yep.
It's just the so if you want something that works, Apple really does an excellent job.
And it's true. I know I gave my wife her first Mac, and she, again, not being inclined to technology, she was always frustrated with Windows. Her biggest complaint was, why do they change the interface all the time? I just mastered this one. I gave her a Mac. I spent literally 15 minutes saying, here's how this is different from Windows. Mm-hmm. And I walked away, and that was years ago, and she refuses to move.
Yeah.
All right, let me change gears on you.
Okay.
You had mentioned 5G as a hot topic. What are the prospects for 5G cellular, and what does that mean for the enterprise specifically?
Well, prospects are, it's absolutely going to happen.
Yep.
Well, unless a mobile operator wants to go out of business, then they can stick with 4G, but
unlikely.
I haven't seen any with a death wish yet, so the trials are starting now. They don't have all the standards finished yet, and people worry about that. I don't worry about technology.
They'll figure that out.
We got the tech guys. We'll solve those problems. But the mass rollouts should be well underway by 2020.
Okay.
For the enterprise, well, certainly everything we do now will happen faster. But really, it's going to be one of the enabling technologies for the Internet of Things. Again, it's not so much the speed, because most IoT devices really are fairly low speed. It's like sensor data.
Yeah.
But the things like video will perform better. We'll have IoT capabilities, and the same thing is going on the Wi-Fi side. Most of the new developments we're seeing in Wi-Fi today, yeah, sure. By force of habit, they make them go faster. They always do that. Yeah. But the industry clearly recognizes that IoT is what we're going to have to support next. So IoT in the house very likely is going to be Wi-Fi. It's cheap, reliable, everyone's got one, and we're coming out with better Wi-Fi solutions now that really do better coverage in the house.
Yeah, the mesh networks and everything else that are happening.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Rather than just having, I have my $400 D-Link mounted high on the wall like we do in an enterprise installation.
Exactly.
But the mesh configurations will give us better coverage, and we'll fairly soon. I mean, we've got a couple of Nest thermostats, we've got a couple of smoke detectors, we've got a handful of... the number of devices we'll have in the house all running on that Wi-Fi network are going to proliferate amazingly in the next few years. So inside the house it'll be Wi-Fi, outside the house it'll be some version of 5G. Because in each case, in the 5G space, it's called narrowband IoT. That's the version they're coming out with. Not for smartphones, this is clearly for IoT devices. And we have the same sort of thing for Wi-Fi as well.
That's crazy.
Plus other ones like Bluetooth mesh, and they just keep coming.
They just keep coming. I know, I love it. All right, we could go all day. I'm having a lot of fun, Michael, but we can't because we have more people lined up after you, and I know you've got a session this afternoon you want to get to. So with that, this is Michael Finneran. He's with dBrn Associates. If you enjoyed the conversation, I had a lot of fun. Check him out online. Check his session out this afternoon. Stay tuned. We have another one coming up shortly with Stein Technology Consultant. We'll be back shortly. Take care. Good job.